Hey, this is Nicolette Moore from NicoletteMoore.com, and today I have Staci Hall with us.
Hey, hey.
Hall, right?
Pardon me?
Your last name's Hall. Gosh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm like not on the ball today.
Isn't that what you said?
Yeah, yes. Okay, I'm starting over.
Okay. Clear the air.
That's why it's good it's not live. Okay. Okay. Hey, this is Nicolette Moore from NicoletteMoore.com, and today I have Staci Hall with us. Staci has been a preschool teacher turned network marketer over the past 2.5 years, and so we get to hear her story about what that experience has been like and some strategies she's using to have success today. So Staci, I'd love for you to come out and kind of talk to us about what the journey has been like and give a brief overview of the past 2.5 years.
Okay, well, I guess, hello, everyone. First of all, I just want to say, hey, hey. If I was to go back just as I was, before I found network marketing, I basically had 2 children, had been staying home with my children, but I was supposed to go back to work. I'm one of those people, right? And so I was struggling with the fact that I was supposed to go back to work and I couldn't bring myself to do it. And I was just so desperate to stay home with my kids and experience being a mom that I was in search of something that I could do that would allow me to be around my kids while I was doing it. So it's probably a pretty common tale. And that's how I ended up falling into network marketing. It has been a bumpy road, let me tell you. My first foray, my first company that I was introduced to, I fell into because I knew some people, right? Somebody made me watch something and the rest is history, but it was not a good fit for me at all. So I would say the first 1.5 years in network marketing, I failed in spectacular fashion. There were fireworks playing behind my failures. It was epic. But when I looked at it, there was something about that business paradigm, like, you know what I mean, Nicolette? It's just, there's something about the way that it works that is so unique and has so much potential that I couldn't get it out of my head. And I thought, there are people out there who have figured this out and they're succeeding. And even though I have done nothing but fail, I know in my heart of hearts that this is the answer. And I just need to find my family and where I fit, and I'm going to take this thing to the moon. So I don't know what it was about me that forced me to stay, involved in it, but I think it was just that my desire to be home with my kids was just huge. So I had to figure it out.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think that a lot of us see that. We see other people are having success with it, and we're like, okay, it's gotta be real, right? So let's figure out how it can work for us. And I think that what you've gone through is incredible and inspiring because you've stuck with it. And most people don't. Most people give up. So I'd love for you to touch on one of the most difficult experiences that you've had in the past 2.5 years. Like, if there's one scenario that you can really point out as, man, that was hard, but you were able to overcome it, what would that be?
Well, there was a lot that was hard. I got in my own way a lot, I have to say. But I think the most difficult thing for me was just dealing with the rejection. I think I was kind of always a bit of a people pleaser. I wasn't really aware of that until I got into network marketing. But suddenly, dealing with the no's and the rejection, it really stung me in the beginning. And sometimes I would like lose a couple of days in my misery, which was not good. But I guess I wasn't surprised that people would say no, but I was surprised, especially that friends and family would be so negative in some cases. And some of them were even a bit kind of mean. That was really hard. So having to get to a point where I could learn to sort of detach from that outcome and not be so connected to what people's opinions were of myself in the industry and not take it personally, that was a hurdle, that for sure. I'd say that was probably easily the toughest thing that I had to deal with.
Yeah, I think that's, what is it? They say, misery loves company, and people almost, it's like the people that love you the most or that you love the most can be so hurtful because it's like they don't believe they can have that success. So they almost just like put that on you and talk to you because, you know, God forbid you'd actually have success, and, you know, it's scary.
Yeah.
So I can totally relate.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
I know that it's one of the hardest things to get over. And so it's like, okay, well, if you don't have your family and friends to go to, so what do you do about that? And I know that you've recently, you know, you've come online, you found online to be a place to kind of reach out and expand your market. How has that journey been?
That has been overall incredible. I mean, it's had its moments, but it has allowed me to, you know, get into a situation that wasn't so insular, because dealing with just my local warm market, my community, and dealing with those judgments and that, you know, that negativity that was pervasive in my community. It's not like that with everyone, but certainly with me, it had been. This opened up a whole universe, because now I was like, oh my goodness, there's like thousands of people out there who are on the same journey as me. And not only do they get it, but they actually all want to be successful. They have no desire to see me fail. They're propping me up and helping and supporting. And so what ended up happening is that I kind of culled my network. I was like, these people are going at arm's length because they're toxic to me right now. And all these new friends came and sort of embraced me. And it was super eye-opening, because I realized that I wasn't a weirdo with all these massive dreams, that there were a lot of people out there just like me, and we could help each other. And it's been amazing. It's been amazing.
Yes, I found the same thing. It's, you know, it's really amazing, just the industry in general. You know, they want to help you. They want you to have success. Your success is somebody else's success, and someone else's success is your success. So it's a great give and take, but there is a paradigm between belly to belly and going online. And so when you go online, are you promoting your company, or are you promoting something else? Like how are you building your business online? What does that look like?
Yeah, I'm a really, really big believer in branding yourself. So I do not promote overtly my primary company. I brand me. So my main sort of social media strategy, and my whole purpose, I guess, online, is to help other people bring their businesses online and have success. So they're not just struggling in the traditional belly to belly paradigm, which, just for the record, I'm still a fan of. I think they play together. But because it set me free, I like to help others achieve the same. So I'm a big believer in branding yourself and using attraction marketing. So my company is actually not something that's at the forefront.
Okay, cool. So I'd love for you to kind of expand on that. What has been a strategy that you've used online that has really been a benefit to you, that you could, you know, talk to others about and show them, hey, you can do this too?
Video, and more video. If I was to talk to somebody who was looking to come online and get going with a bang and just sort of build as quickly as they possibly could, I mean, these things take time, but I would say arguably video is the best strategy. So, and right now the king of video strategies is live streaming, right? Because it's the newest thing. It's more immediate. People really, it's kind of voyeuristic. People like to see what other people are doing. How's their hair? What's their house look like? Whatever, right? It's our natural instinct. We're curious. So a lot of people want to see that. So Facebook Live for me has been my sort of live streaming video strategy of choice. There are others, but Facebook is still the monster of social media, in my opinion. So I've had great success doing Facebook Lives.
Okay. And so what has your interaction been? Like, did you hop onto Facebook Live and immediately have a massive following, or
No.
how has that progressed for you, and how have you seen it play in that, you know, the whole know, like, and trust factor that we hear so much about?
Right. Yeah, that is so critically important. It's true. It's a good point to bring up. No, I did not have an audience right away. And in fact, I'm kind of grateful in hindsight, but the first 2 Facebook Lives I did, nobody showed up. because I didn't tell anybody I was doing it, because in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, I kind of don't want anybody there because I'm so nervous, and I'm like, my heart was going a mile a minute. My hands were sweating. I was a disaster. I kept dropping my phone. It was like, if somebody had seen it, it would have been really embarrassing. But those are growing pains, right? So I talked to myself for the first 2 Facebook Lives, but I did post them because I was trying to be courageous. But you know what? Pretty quickly afterwards, once I started to play around a little bit, you know, you play with time of day because everybody's audience is a little different. And I played with going from my fan page, going from my profile, and engagement grew really quickly once I got over my jitters, because then I was able to promote it. So now on any given night, I usually have well over 100 people turning up live, and much more on the replays, right? So because what you're saying, that know, like, and trust factor, somebody spends 20 minutes with me on a Facebook Live, they're getting me, right? There's no hiding behind anything. They're getting how I articulate myself. They're getting my value, what that is or isn't for them. They're seeing my quirks, my sense of humor, all of it. So when they leave, they really feel like they do know you and hopefully like you, and they feel that you're trustworthy. So you go from 0 to having a business relationship with somebody very quickly in a live streaming situation. Whereas if I was using something that didn't use video, I think it would take me at least 3 times that length of time to create the trust in a relationship where a person would want to work with me or buy from me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. So what would you say is kind of maybe your favorite thing to talk about on Facebook Live?
My Facebook Lives are kind of full-blown trainings. So I talk about strategy a lot, network marketing strategy, online and off, mostly online probably, and a lot of mindset, because mindset is 90% of the equation, I feel, and it's something that people tend to not spend enough time dedicating themselves to. So those are the 2 main categories.
Awesome. Okay. And so what is your, you talked about an online community before. What is that? I know that you said that it's been massively helpful to you.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a community that you talk with regularly? What is their role in your life and your current business?
Well, yeah, I'm plugged in on a daily basis. Absolutely. They are kind of the backbone of my business in a way, because they're the support structure. So, and I for them too, I would hope, right? It's a 2-way street for sure. They're there to answer questions. They're there to celebrate my successes. They're there to soften the blows during my losses. They've become friends, right? So I talk to them the same way that I would talk to my best girlfriends. And we learn from one another, and we also help each other out. So, I might hop on one of their webinars. They might, hop on something I'm doing. We support one another. So it's absolutely pivotal.
Awesome. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I think we all need that, right? We all need that community and that support network. So it's wonderful that you have that and that you know where to tap into that. Because I think so many people just they don't know. So, pro tip number 1, guys, if you want to find out more information, talk to Staci about it after.
Yeah, you can't do this alone. Cannot do this alone, for sure.
So, Staci, what would you say has been one of the best pieces of advice that you've gotten that's kind of helped you stick through those, 2.5 years of highs and lows and the bumps and, everything? What has really helped you just cling to the vision?
Just don't quit, I think. Just don't quit. Be here next year. Something that Ray Higdon says, be here next year. And it's just don't quit. It's the same feeling, right? Act as if and go until. I mean, they're all just telling you to not give up on yourself. And that is the best advice that I could give anybody. You can't fail unless you throw in the towel. So as long as you don't quit, you're on your way to success. That's how I see it. So that's my best piece of advice. The best piece of advice I ever got to.
I think that's so important, just that we all have our hard times. We all have our struggles and our challenges. But like Staci said, the moment that you decide, hands off, I'm done, I'm walking away from this, that's when you fail. And so just if you have a vision and you believe in what you're doing, keep pushing forward. Just push through those hard times, reach out, find help, find somebody to talk to, and kind of get your mindset right. Like Staci mentioned earlier, these elements are so vital to us. And I say this often, we're not an island. Not even in just like a regular job. It's so hard to get through life alone. Yeah. And whenever you know that there is a community out there to cling to, there are people that really care about your success, that's so invigorating and that's empowering. And it really, ensures that you can stick through and be here next year, like Ray Higdon says.
Yeah, exactly. So many people waste so much time starting and stopping. You see it all the time. They're jumping from thing to thing. They're moving all over the place. They just are not, because they get to that point where the struggle becomes real and they bail on themselves. And they figure if they start over again on the other side of the street, that the horizon's going to look different. And it just doesn't, because it starts with our mindset. It starts with our belief in ourselves. It starts with our stick-to-itiveness. And as long as you get up every day and put one foot in front of the other and don't give up and don't quit, every day you're a step closer. This is a long-term game, right? So you have to be in it to win it.
Yes, I love it. So you've had 2.5 years now of experience of highs and lows. If you had to start all over today, knowing everything that you've been through, everything you've experienced, what would you do differently?
That is such a good question. You know what? There's quite a few things I would do differently, but the main, I make it sound like I screwed everything up. I did a couple of things right. I did 1 or 2 things right. I would seriously, number one, and I mentioned it before, I would seriously get my butt plugged into some mindset training pronto. I mean, people told me that at the very start, and I kind of snubbed my nose at it. I saw it as being a bit woo-woo tree hugging. I'll tell you what, I would get plugged into that and take it seriously right from the get-go. Because every single obstacle that I faced in that early sort of 1.5 years, that first year, definitely that first year, was myself getting in my own way because of my own limiting beliefs, my own baggage that I was carrying around with me. So that's number one. And other than that, I would probably get online faster. And, because belly to belly, it works. Okay. People do it. It works. And I do it too. I build locally as well. It's important. But the traditional methods didn't resonate with me 100%. And if I had known that the online strategies were available to me a little bit earlier, I could have carved some time off, especially because I spent a lot of time fiddling and trying to figure it out on my own. If I'd known there was a community I could tap into and leverage other people's knowledge and tools and systems and experience, I would have done that a lot sooner.
Yeah, I think, and another thing, belly to belly definitely works. It's been around for, decades, right? You could say it's been around for much longer than that. Networking has always been around, and building your business that way, it's always been around. So it's nothing new, but, there is a progression in the culture, in the way that we do business, period, in, just the way that the world works. And so it's definitely beneficial to go online, learn how to leverage it, like you said, and learn how to use it to the best of your potential, because there's so much potential online.
Absolutely.
And, definitely tapping into that early on is super, super beneficial. So that's a great pointer.
We have an expression on our team too, that we go online to go offline. So you don't always need to use online strategies to build your business. Sometimes it's just about networking and meeting people, and you can go offline with them at that point, which is typically what I do. I don't really close business through social media. I do it in person or on the phone or like this on Skype. You always end up having to still have those relationships. You can't hide behind a computer. So I would tell people that the offline strategies are critical to be successful online, because if you don't master basic inviting and presenting and closing in the real world, you're not going to suddenly be good at that online just because you have a computer and a keyboard. It doesn't work like that. The skill set is fundamental. It's preliminary. And then you take that online, and it simplifies your procedures. But it doesn't bypass your skill set. if that makes sense.
Yeah, it definitely does. Learning how to talk to people, learning how to communicate.
Exactly.
Definitely something that I think we can all improve on. I know myself, I can definitely improve on that. But yeah, that's a great piece of advice. And yeah, being online doesn't mean you're sitting behind your computer and you're just typing away and hoping that people will, join your team or buy from you. It doesn't work that way. There is a relationship building element. And like, Staci's doing Facebook Live. She's putting her face out there. She's connecting with people who respond to her. And so that is definitely an element of building relationships. Now she can go from just being in her local city to being worldwide. She can pick up the phone and talk to somebody in Russia or, UK or wherever in the world. And so that's the potential of being online. But those communication skills, the ability to connect with somebody, that doesn't change.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's beautiful. So, question, if what would you want somebody to walk away with from your story, from your experience that you've had for the past 2.5 years, offline and on, if they are struggling in their business or considering moving online to build their business?
Well, if I was just to get real with somebody, I would just say, do whatever you can to tap into your own greatness, just to realize that you do have it in you and you are worthy and you deserve it, because those are things I didn't really get, and they will stop you no matter what you try and do. So whatever it takes for you to tap into knowing your value and being comfortable and having the posture to put that out there for people, because you need to understand that if you know one thing that the person across from you doesn't know, you can help them. So don't hold yourself back because of your insecurities or your lack of self-worth or your limiting beliefs or whatever it is that's going on inside your head that's making you think that you can't win at this. Because let me tell you, I've seen some people win at this game who didn't even have a high school education, who barely spoke the language of the country they worked in. I've seen people win at it who were deaf. I mean, people have way more hardship than you and I have, and they're winning bigger. So we know that the fuel to that success is internal. So that's the biggest, piece of advice that I can give people is, and I keep harking back to this mindset thing, but I'm telling you, it's 90% of it. Focus on learning your value and your worth and building your belief in the industry, your belief in yourself, your belief in your company. Get some posture and go crush this thing, baby. That's what I'd say.
So you have this support, you have this community support, you have online and offline support. What would be a resource that you would recommend to somebody to be able to tap into that mindset? People like to recommend books, meditations, trainings. Like what is your go-to if you're having a down day, if you're struggling with your mindset, aside from going to a friend or a mentor? What would you do? What would you turn to kind of elevate that mindset?
Well, my goodness, I'm plugged into so many different podcasts and books and various things. My go-to is my online marketing community wake-up calls. They have them 5 days a week. So there's always back catalog there I can listen to. I listen to Entrepreneurs on Fire, John Lee Dumas. I like that one a lot. Yeah, Brendan Burchard. The classics too, right? Jim Rohn, Les Brown, Tony Robbins. I mean, there are so many. If anybody actually wants a list and are actually interested in all the stuff I'm reading, I'd be happy to put a list together for them. I would say, as long as you are actively on any given day listening to a half an hour of mindset training of your choice, something that's building you up, not strategy stuff. I mean, the how-tos, they probably already know that. That's 1%. Mindset stuff. And if you're actively reading a book, they say 10 pages a day, whatever, just as long as you're reading every day and listening every day, it'll get you there.
Excellent. That's great. John Lee Dumas actually is the reason I wanted to pursue these interviews.
Woo! He's a rock star. That man is so prolific. I don't know when he sleeps.
I've listened to him for a while now. I don't even know whenever I first found him, but he totally inspired me.
Yeah.
He just made me think, well, gosh, I can do that. I can listen to people's stories, and I can help others, by listening, sharing their stories. So, number one reason, John Lee Dumas,
Yeah.
on Fire, is definitely an amazing podcast. Love that.
Inspiring. Super, super inspiring.
Yeah. Okay. So if anyone out there wants to get in touch with you, Staci, what's the best way to find you? Where can they find you online?
Well, the best, my home online is my blog, stacihall.com. Super simple to remember. And my fan page is just Staci Hall page, facebook.com/Staci Hall page. Those are the two easiest ways to get in touch with me. And on my blog, there's also there's contact info. If anybody wants to actually shoot me a text or whatever, they can get that information there.
Awesome. Well, anybody who wants to know anything about, what Staci uses for mindset, kind of get that list from her. Want to find out more about this online community, find out about her Facebook tactics, whatever, anything that's piqued your interest, definitely get in touch with Staci. She can help you and guide you to be able to help you find the success you're looking for. So Staci, I really appreciate your time. I'm super grateful that you spent the time with me and that you've carved some moments out of your busy day to share your story. It's a really powerful, and it's so cool to be able to talk to people who went from the struggles, the highs and lows, persevered, and now they're finding something that works for them and now is moving their business along so that they can help others. So that's incredible. I thank you so much for this.
It's been an honor and a blessing. I'm truly grateful to just be able to sit here and share my story and have a platform to maybe potentially inspire or help somebody else along their journey anytime, anyhow. Thank you so much. I'm always here. You can reach out anytime.
Awesome, Staci. Thanks so much. Have a great day, okay?
You too. Bye, Nicolette.